everyone. Greetings from the hospital. So I met with the surgeon today and he was very upset that the ER doctor that I saw on the 11th, very upset that he let me go. Turns out that my gallbladder is super infected and my liver enzymes and everything are really high. They admitted me today, and I'm having surgery tomorrow to remove my gallbladder, which I'm very happy about because I've been in pain for a long time. They just admitted me, so I'm not hooked up to anything. They've just taken my vitals, and I was bathed by a very nice Asian nurse who fawned over my foot tattoos. And, yeah, this is my glamorous hospital look. Now, I don't, I have to imagine that the reason they pick fabric that looks like this is so that people don't steal it. I mean, is there a market for hospital gowns? Are there people lining up to steal these uncomfortable paper-feeling dresses with the back cut open? Really? Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to, sorry, I'm hurting. I'm looking forward to them hooking me up to medication so that I'm not in pain anymore and so I can get some sleep. I haven't eaten anything, and I won't be able to eat anything, and that bums me out, but at the same time it doesn't because I'm kind of queasy. And I think I'm gonna ask them if I can keep my gallbladder. Is that weird? A little bit weird? That's okay. I'm a little weird. I think it would be funny to have my gallbladder in a little jar. I wouldn't keep it for long, but just for, you know, I don't know, whatever. I don't know if any of you people are Supernatural fans, but I have got the Azazel look going on. I got some yellow eyes from my liver enzymes being all messed up. So I hope that goes away soon because it's not the most attractive thing. Well, I am gonna do another video once I'm probably a little more doped up on whatever they decide to put me on, and hopefully not in as much pain, in better spirits, though I may just fall asleep. We'll see. We will see. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Alright, well, as you can tell, it's a little bit darker in here. It is 10 o'clock at night, and I am finally all hooked up and everything. Unfortunately, it took 2 nurses and 3 blown veins before they just went ahead and put it in the crook of my arm instead of in my forearm, because I got them tricky ghost veins. And actually I took a selfie with my nurse, so here that is. And her name is Angela, and she's been really nice to talk to, and kinda, it's nice to have a nurse that you get along with. She's another Midwesterner like me. And so they gave me a probiotic, and I am on strictly liquids until midnight, so I'm pretty much like a gremlin, or a mogwai rather. Cannot eat after midnight. And They have me on IV fluids, IV antibiotics, and morphine. And the morphine gave me an instant headache. It hasn't really done anything at all for my pain. It's just made me kind of foggy, so I don't focus on it. So call it what you will. Maybe that's what it's supposed to do, but I still have the pain, at least for now. And now I'm watching Food Network and just watched one of the baker competitions where they made cakes shaped like roller coasters, and one of the teams dropped their cake, so that's always exciting. So that's where I'm at. I just talked to my dad on the phone and let him know that I was in here, and of course he's kind of worried, but I'm not. It's in and out, outpatient, and super easy procedure, and should be laparoscopic, so they shouldn't have to like really cut me open. They should be able to do it with a really small incision. And yeah, so I am just going to hang out here. I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere. Just running my naked butt flapping out the back down the hallways. I'm not gonna do that. Well, I will update at some point. Alright, well, it is midnight, and I have been officially switched over from morphine to Dilaudid because it was not, was not doing anything for me. And this seems to be helping quite a bit better than the morphine was, at least. I officially can no longer have any food or fluids until 3 p.m. tomorrow, which is, as I mentioned, it's midnight, so 15 hours from now. It's going to be really hard. They did give me these little mouth swabbies so I can keep my mouth moist. I think this is flavored like bubble gum. That's weird. And that was the first time I tried this, so yeah. Anyways, two tiny little updates is I went pee, which you guys probably don't care about, but it was actually pretty dark brown, so they were a little concerned about that. So they're going to give me, I'm going to start my third bag of IV fluids, and we're going to see if it has lightened up next time, because it should. And the other thing that has happened, which is also kind of concerning, is that they said I have been bradycardic, I believe is what it is, where my heart rate has dropped a couple times between like 30 and 50, and a normal heart rate resting for someone who is not super physically active is going to be somewhere above 60, and I average around 80. So, and I haven't slept or anything, so there's not really a reason that it should have dropped, and in fact it should have probably gone up because I was active walking to the bathroom and stuff like that. So a little concerning that my heart rate has dropped so low, because I haven't felt weird or anything, and I didn't notice anything, but they're gonna keep an eye on me and monitor me, which they do anyways. But so I have just been pretty much sitting here gabbing with my nurses. Other than that, I have just been catching Pokemon in my room and watching Food Network. There is a gym and a Pokestop at this hospital, and they are both just out of reach of my room, and so I can't do either of them, which is kind of disappointing. Um, I think I'm going to try at least to get a little bit of rest. I've been really sleep deprived. I feel like I've been sleeping all day. It's just been so restless and so uncomfortable. So I'm going to see if I can manage to get some sleep in here um, as much as I can with the interruptions from the nurses and the noises and stuff of the hospital and the super uncomfortable bed. So uh, yeah, I'll update you guys when I do another video. Alright, so it is about 10 till 1 a.m. and the Dilaudid is doing what it's supposed to. Pain has decreased pretty significantly, but it has made me really emotional. So, just feeling kind of lonely and, frustrated and missing my babies. I haven't been away from Ari yet, so it's kind of hard for me. She's only 3 months old, so just having a little bit of a hard time with that. So I'm thinking that might be a cue for me to go to sleep. Because I don't ever cry, and I don't like being emotional like this, and yeah. Alright, so it is 2:15 in the morning, and I just had my vitals checked again. I have had a nurse run in the room a few times because my heart rate dropped to the low 30s, which I guess is kind of concerning. But I think that I am going to finally try to get some sleep. I can tell that the Dilaudid is starting to wear off, so I want to get to sleep before it start to hurt. And before I start to force myself to watch infomercials or something on the TV they have here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some sleep. They said they're gonna be back in about 5 to refill my antibiotic bag and possibly give me more pain medication. So I'm not sure if I'll update you guys then or if I'll even remember, but that's where I'm at. And yeah, so good night. I'll see you guys whenever. Alright, so it is 4:35 in the morning, and I got about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep. I'm not sure when I did my last little update. And they just came in and checked my vitals, gave me another dose of the Dilaudid, and I peed again. It's still really dark, but on the upside, I haven't had any dramatic dips in my heart rate since my last update, so that's good at least. Hopefully that's not associated with the pain medication. I guess we'll find out, but the whole not being able to drink water thing or anything is kind of crappy. Like, my mouth is super dry, like, because the Dilaudid gives me cotton mouth, So I've got these friggin' bubblegum swab things. Like frick. And obviously I sound kind of raspy. But I've been moisturizing my lips. I brought my EOS lip balm in sweet mint, which I love. So it's keeping me minty. And I've been watching my Bob Ross video on Netflix, just watching him paint his happy trees and beating the devil out of his paintbrush like he always says. So I am going to see if I can get some more sleep. I think it's going to be a little easier since I'm still kind of groggy. I should fall right back asleep, so yeah, I'll update you guys later. Alright, 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm watching the sunrise. And spent the last 30 minutes getting vitals done, medication redone, blood drawn, just chatting it up with my nurses and stuff. And talking on Facebook with my friend Lindsay. Hi Lindsay, if you're watching this. And I'm gonna go back to bed now.